categorize individuals as either good or bad. We draw these conclusions based on their actions, their behavior, and their choices. But is it really that black and white? Can we truly divide the world into such distinct categories of good and bad people? It is important to recognize that every person is a complex mix of both positive and negative qualities. No one is purely good or purely bad. We all have different sides to us, and our actions can vary depending on a multitude of factors. When we label someone as good, it usually means they have displayed behaviors that align with our own personal values or societal norms. This might include acts of kindness, empathy, generosity, and honesty. These are the people we admire and look up to, the ones who inspire us to be better ourselves. On the other hand, we have the individuals we deem as bad. These are the ones who have crossed moral boundaries, causing harm to others or engaging in unethical practices. They might lie, cheat, or manipulate, acting in their own self-interest without regard for the well-being of others. These are the people we may fear or despise, the ones we try to keep away from. But we must remember that people are not binary entities. We all have the potential for good and bad within us. Our actions are often a result of our upbringing, our experiences, and the circumstances we find ourselves in. It's important to consider the underlying factors that contribute to someone's behavior rather than solely focusing on their label of being good or bad. Sometimes, people who are labeled as bad have had a difficult journey in life. They may have experienced trauma, abuse, or neglect that has shaped their perception of the world. It's essential to remember that empathy and understanding are crucial when dealing with those who exhibit negative behaviors. Instead of condemning them, it might be more helpful to try and understand why they act the way they do and offer support if possible. Likewise, someone labeled as good may not always make the right choices. We are all fallible beings who can make mistakes. Just because someone has displayed virtuous behavior in the past doesn't guarantee that they will always do so. It's important to recognize that we are all capable of slipping up, and we should be open to forgiveness and growth. Furthermore, circumstances can have a significant impact on our actions and behavior. A person who has grown up in a loving and supportive environment may be more likely to exhibit positive traits, while someone who has faced adversity and hardship might struggle to consistently make ethical choices. We must acknowledge that our experiences shape who we are, and they influence the decisions we make. In reality, most people fall somewhere in the middle of the spectrum. They may have done both good and bad things in their lives. It's crucial not to oversimplify someone's character based on isolated actions. We should strive to understand the full picture and avoid hasty judgments. It's important to remember that people have the capacity to change. Just as someone can make a positive impact on the world, someone who has made negative choices in the past can also grow, learn, and improve. We should be cautious about writing people off as bad, indefinitely, as it leaves no room for redemption and rehabilitation. Ultimately, the concept of good and bad people is an oversimplification of the human experience. We are all shades of gray, a mixture of light and darkness. Instead of focusing on labeling individuals, it is more beneficial to encourage personal growth, foster empathy, and promote understanding. Let's strive to see the complexity in every person and recognize that we all have the potential for both good and bad within us.